Hello everyone. Alright, so I'm going to be making a new video. This is going to be based on the one mini ITX video I just recently put out a few months ago actually. So I picked out all the parts and alright, it was expensive, just as I thought it would be. Believe it or not, so I bought a Cougar QBX, which I mentioned in the last video, and it fits everything just right. But it's a really nice case. I have not many complaints. They say that you need a um, what is it? The SFX, but like a particular power supply for it. I kind of rigged it a little bit and I watched a couple videos. They showed me how to rig the power cable over a little bit. Again, I wouldn't recommend it. I would just get the whatever power supply they recommend because you want all that extra space in there. Right now, there's no room at all for anything. I managed to fit a 240 millimeter radiator, this Cryorig radiator, in there, barely, barely. This it's a hybrid, but the hybrid fan that goes on top of the block itself of the CPU is not able to fit. So it's it's still running kind of hot. It's definitely running hot, but I mean, what was I gonna expect? Um, but yeah, so let's get into the specs. Like, CPU is a 3600 XT. It's a good CPU. I want the 5600 XT because it would be a lower TDP, which is important. I believe it helps with temperatures. Right now, the temperature, like I said, it's not where I want it to be. In the case, I have a couple ultra thin 120 millimeters around it to cool it down. Like I said, I got a full size power supply to fit in there, so this is excellent. I went from an extremely large case just to something. It's very tiny. It's not sure the exact dimensions, but much smaller than my full size case I had. I'll tell you, I could probably fit in my backpack if I like. Which this is pretty much what I wanted. Something I could move around in case I want to go to a friend's house. I'll bring it in my bag, and no big deal. They have all the wires over there, so this works out very well. As far as a GPU, I have a 6700 XT that I put in it, and runs games very well. There's regular standard RAM. It's like 3200 megahertz, I believe. Nothing crazy. It's a HyperX. I bought nice what is it, Noctua fans, really nice Noctua fans. This way you just can't hear it. Personally, I'd like to ramp up the fans if I could, just to help with temperatures. It sucks. You go, I guess like my main negative about just going downsizing in the case. My old case was a full size. It had 240 millimeter, is it 180 mil fans. It was like 220s or something big, something larger than your standard 120. It might have been a 140 or something, but it kept everything cool. Now, once we've taken all these nice size fans out, and I couldn't fit my old 212 Evo in this. I had the 212 Black Edition Evo um, CPU cooler, and there's no way I could fit it in there. So the water cooler was the second best. I should have went with the ultra thin water cooler, but I wanted the ultra thick. Like I said, it's barely fitting. Um, it's hard to close the case, but it does close up. Everything closes up just fine. I screw it together. This is what matters. The left 120 millimeter fan on the 240 radiator is sitting right against the power supply, so it's probably. But this is why I would say just go with whatever power supply they want you to go with. This way you have a little extra room. little extra airflow. I'm sure that's probably exactly what they wanted. It's just the money. It's a lot of money. It's like, I don't know, between 100, 200, something like that, compared to a $60 power supply, $80 power supply. However, it's the motherboard is a, what is it? A B550M, I believe, is one of the mini boards by Asrock. It's it's a good board. It's nice and mini. So it was a little expensive. I got it from Micro Center for it was an open box actually, $123, I think. So this is cheap for mini ITX. So just keep that in mind. Everything's gonna be, I don't know why it is, but micro ATX they got really good pricing. Mini ITX the prices are jacked up a little bit. I don't know. It's probably just the matter of them getting all the parts in a smaller board makes it more pricey. But yeah, this is the cheapest board I could find. It was 120 open box from Micro Center. But other than that, for the most part, this is the 6700 XT dual fan Challenger. I looked up the specs for how long this case can support up to and how wide. The width is pretty close. This card hardly fits width-wise, but it does fit. Now, if you were to get the 3-fan version, I couldn't be 100% whether it's going to fit or not. It might not. So, everything's got to be like exactly measured and proper. All the wires have to be tucked nice, and wire management for me is kind of difficult. I don't know. Other people might not mind it. So some areas I didn't mind, but I feel like the motherboard setup didn't really help either. So, some motherboards have it where certain ports are in a different section, and that would have helped out a little bit for my case. But all the USB ports, all the important ports are all up in the front, and there's no room in the front. I can't fit anything between the power supply and the motherboard. There's nothing. There's a 3.0 that goes between the power supply and the motherboard, and I gotta bend that 3.0 over, which I don't prefer to do this. But yeah, there's a few things I had to mess with to make this rig work nicely, and it's not, like I said, it's very quiet. I don't usually have a problem. Temperatures get up a little bit, but I think if I bought a new 5600 XT, my temperatures would go down a little bit. Um, it took me about a year to put this all together and just kind of price range everything out, and it ended up costing. Oh shit! Shit. All right. So yeah, but it ended up costing me, I don't know, somewhere around 500, I think, maybe a little under. After the rig itself didn't cost me 500. The rig itself costed over 1,000 plus. But as far as going mini ITX, it probably cost me a couple $100 extra just to go into a smaller form compared to just keeping my old case, which probably would have been better for cooling. But my room's a little small and I need something portable. So this all helps out, and you know, little by little, the room looks bigger. All right, thank you for watching again. Again, down in the bottom there'll be a link to Robinhood and Firstrade. If you're interested, use those links. Set yourself up. Again, disclaimer: I can't help you with any of these. I'm not a financial advisor, but it is down at the bottom. If you'd like to get into it, look into it a little bit before you do anything. But you could always use a link. I'm pretty sure you get a free stock, and I get a free stock. So Again, it always helps out. Every little thing helps out. Thank you. Thanks for watching again.